All Stop Sports. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another video. We're going to talk some NBA basketball on this one. But first and foremost, shout out to the LDBC. Now, this is my prediction for the Boston Celtics Washington Wizards Conference semifinal series. I'm going to give a prediction on game one and also my thoughts on this series as well. Now, this is an interesting series. Boston and Washington, they've kind of collided. I think the series was 2-2 in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that John Wall told Washington to dress in all black one game because they was going to bury him like they was going to a funeral. And they ended up blasting Boston that night. But here's my prediction for this game. Now, game one, I think that it's Washington's best opportunity to come out and steal a game on the road. You know, both teams played Friday. Boston's riding a high horse after they ended up closing out Chicago, winning 4 straight. They're kind of feeling good. Washington played extremely well after beating Atlanta on the road in Game 6 on Friday as well. But this is what I think is going to be the difference. I just don't see anybody that Boston's going to have to stop John Wall. Now, Isaiah Thomas is going to be a difficult matchup as well. I expect him to score and play well. But the key matchup, in my opinion, is going to be between Markieff Morris and Al Horford. Now, the thing is, last series against Paul Millsap, this was a very difficult matchup for Markieff Morris. Not only can Paul Millsap step out, but he also can post up. Now, he'll have a little bit of a quickness advantage on Al Horford, which I think he'll be able to exploit. I expect Bradley Beal to perform. We all know I'm a big fan of his if you listen to any of my videos on the channel. And John Wall is going to separate himself once again as, in my opinion, the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. He can put so much pressure on the defense with his speed, his size, his strength, and then his ability to find shooters. He's a special player. We're watching the evolution and the growth of a special player in John Wall. So I expect Washington to actually get the victory tonight and Washington to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games. Like I said, I just think that John Wall is going to be a tough matchup throughout the entire series for Boston. I expect Bradley Beal to perform well. Otto Porter Jr. is going to do well as well. He always does all the little work, the dirty work, all the little things. He'll dive on the floor for loose balls. He's always chipping away, finding himself in the paint, trying to cause a turnover and deflections, and he always is key and consistent for knocking down those open threes. I expect Gortat to play better. He had a terrible series against the Atlanta Hawks, but we should have a better series this time because no matter what, he's always going to have a mental block whenever he goes up against Dwight Howard. He was his former backup. So for him to ever believe that he can compete with Dwight Howard, he hasn't got over that mental hurdle yet because he was always coming in for him when he was in Orlando. So he always felt he wasn't as good as Dwight Howard, in my opinion. So that's why he struggled. But I think Bill played bad the first couple games against Atlanta. He missed a lot of open threes. But in Game 6, his shot was money. And if he plays like that, it's going to be very difficult for Boston to compete. But Boston has a lot of heart and they're scrappy. I love Avery Bradley's game. Big fan of his. He's consistent, improved his jump shot, and he is a dog on defense. Jay Crowder gets a lot of credit. A lot of teams like him. I think he's solid. Al Horford, I just feel like that Boston doesn't have enough to get them to the Eastern Conference Finals and beat the Washington Wizards. Now, if Boston would have went out and got Paul George, who has been eliminated from the playoffs, or Jimmy Butler, maybe my argument in this series, I would be thinking I would have a different opinion on the series and how the outcome was going to be. But due to the fact that Isaiah Thomas is their only consistent 20-point scorer, and you can kind of book Wall for 20, you can book Beal for 20, they just have more guys. And Brandon Jennings has been very effective off the bench as well as a backup point guard. If he can continue to play well, that'll be key for Washington. I love the way Marcus Smart has developed. He's developed into a very consistent shooter. I like Smart, tenacious defender. I love his game. But, with all due respect, I'm picking the Washington Wizards in 6. Those are my thoughts on the series. It should be a tough series, get a little chippy. Look for guys to get teed up in this series, compete very hard. They don't like each other, but that's what the playoffs are about, and it's going to be exciting to see. This is All Stop Sports. We out, ladies and gentlemen.